What's up? Yeah, we're figuring out which side to sit on.
How are we doing? Hey, what's
right,
up,
this'll work.
everybody? Salt Lake City! Woo! It's good to be back. When was the last time you were here?
I was here, well, not here, but I was here in Utah a year ago.
Oh, nice.
And I went out, we did a 3-mile hike that lasted 8 miles
Ooh, that'll happen, yeah.
to get to these hot springs. And they smelled like sulfur.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of sulfur. I couldn't stay. I looked around, it's like, this is nice. And then I walked back down.
Nice.
And by walk, I
Didn't
mean
soak in
slip
the-
slowly.
You didn't soak in the springs?
I couldn't do it. I was smelling it all the way up.
See.
And I was like,
I love
see.
a good sulfur spring. It's good for your skin. It makes you feel soft and somehow clean. Even
I'm
though
all that is hard.
You smell like rotten eggs afterwards, but I think it's good it's a good exfoliator. Yeah.
There's also there were people up there already, and they were like, it was like a party, felt like a college party, and this dude carried this giant speaker up there, and I was like,
That sounds like you. You always bring a giant speaker.
I bring a small speaker with giant sound. This was just a giant speaker that was just ruining everything for me. But I had a great time if I didn't hear anything. All right, I'm done talking about hiking. It's as exciting as doing it, talking about it.
So I'm going to kick things off with a bit of an icebreaker. It's obviously very easy to look at IMDb and see what your first role was, but I want to hear it from you. What was your first professional role, and has it had any sort of an impact on the roles that you took afterwards, or maybe led to where you are today?
Oh, we're doing thoughtful questions. We're doing good questions. All right, geez. Okay. What did my IMDb say on my?
I'm waiting to hear from you.
My first professional thing as an actor, I think was Halt in Catch Fire.
Oh, wow.
I think. Yeah, that was an '80s tech drama, and we were with some incredibly good actors. And the reason I got that, partially from being one of the most amazing actors of our generation. Besides all that, was a Yo-Yo. The character's name was Yo-Yo, and I'd been yo-yoing since I was in 7th grade, and so this kind of worked out for me. But what I learned from that set was just sort of how to get into something without caring about who's around you or what's around you. And so the actors on that show, the lead actors were super focused on, and they were able to take dialogue that sometimes you read dialogue and you're like, how are they going to do that? And then you watch it, and it was not at all how one would expect. So I got to learn some really, really cool things from that show for sure.
Really cool.
That's coincidentally the best pilot I ever read. I auditioned for both of the main leads, and I was so bummed when I didn't get it, but it went to much more deserving actors than Lee Pace and Scoot McNairy, but I loved that script. And if you guys haven't seen it, Halt and Catch Fire is one of the best TV shows that AMC ever produced. I think y'all should watch that. Thank you for that one woo over there.
I know, I needed that. That felt good.
And he's amazing in it. Everyone just crushes it. That whole show is amazing. I was not as cool as you. I didn't get an amazing role right out the bat. I started on a short film called Angry Ghost, and it was shot in Angeles Oaks Forest, out like in 2 hours east of LA. And this was like a 15-minute short that I still don't know what it's about. Maybe it was about an angry ghost that maybe was a zombie too. And I think maybe that kind of led its way into somehow, precursor for The Walking Dead. I feel like I worked in the zombie genre a fair amount. I also did another zombie short right after that. So I guess, this was just greasing the wheels for me to take over in that realm, yeah.
Well, then sliding right into The Walking Dead, I would love to know what the casting process was for both of you, the audition process, how you booked it, when you found out, and how hard it was to keep a secret, because you both came in when it was the biggest thing on television.
Yeah, mine was funny for me. It's funny for all of us, but it was. I was in LA for maybe 2 months at this point, and it was a Friday. I think, or a Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I got a call. They want me to do this audition for Walking Dead, and I was like, okay, when's it due? Friday. I'll do it Friday. I'm so last minute. I'm that guy. And procrastinators. And I can't wait to hear some of the costume stories. I know some of you were up till like 4 a.m. working on it. So I did this audition Friday. Then they wanted the character to be like Big E. So like he was like, "Yo, chill it up, chill it like this very like." It was, and I was like, okay. So I did, and then on Saturday, which is weird, also on a Saturday. On a Saturday, they hit me up to send in 2 more reads with the same things, just 2 different directions, and I was like, okay. So turned that in, and Monday I'm now filming a fight sequence with my friends. So I lived in a house with a bunch of stunt people, and now you can see them. And if you watch anything, you've probably seen them. And I'm in the swimming pool with my gimbal, and I'm shooting this long sequence. And I've just been waiting to get it. And then my manager gives me a call, and she's like, "Are you sitting down?" Which, by the way, I hate that. Like, there's no news on the planet you can tell me I need to sit down for. So she, "Are you sitting down?" We go, sort of. Like, people are waiting. I'm like, "Well, what's up?" And like, "Well, you just booked Walking Dead, and they want you to fly out today." And I go, is it cool if I come out tomorrow? First thing I said. I go, "Oh, that's great. Can I come out tomorrow?" And then both my agent and manager were like, okay, we can ask. And then I okay, yeah, just let me know. "Oh, okay, this is great, guys, thanks." Like, hang up. Okay, all right, and let's film, And then everyone's fighting, and they're like, what was that? Because they were reading it with me. And I go, "Oh, I got the job. They want me to come out now." Okay, but I'm telling them we can do this. I told them they can ask if they can fly me out tomorrow. They're like, "No, get out of here!" So like all the room was like, "Get out of this house!" So I still smell like a swimming pool, and my friends kicked me out of the house. They drove me to the airport, and then so that was a Monday. Tuesday costume and the table read, and Wednesday was I'm Jerry. And that the night before, and this is the last part. Sorry, I'm so long-winded, guys. But the Tuesday, after we did the table read, I was not feeling the character. I really wasn't. And so Scott hit me up, and we had a Skype. That was before Zoom. I was about to say Zoom, but we didn't do it. But we Skyped, and he was just telling me, he's like, when I cast you. These were the things I was thinking. When you smile, it makes me happy. And when you frown, it scares the shit out of me. And I was like, "Oh." And he goes, "So let's lean into that. Jerry's this great guy, and then if he's pushed, he's a berserker." And I was like, "All right." And from then on, like, Jerry made sense to me. And so between me, Scott, and Greg Nicotero, the 3 of us sort of like found where Jerry was sitting. And yeah, and then I had the greatest time filming on that show. So yeah.
I had a similar experience, but I auditioned for 2 different roles prior to Aaron. One was for Gareth, the leader of the Cannibals, and I really loved that character, but I'm glad I didn't get that because he was killed after 4 episodes, so probably for the best. But similarly, I had just given up acting. I was like done acting. I made the decision a couple months prior, and I felt really good about that because it had been like 10 years of rejection and nonstop poverty and like $120,000 of credit card debt I was just swimming in. And my team really had to force me to go because I didn't want to go at first, and I went out of loyalty to the cast directors and to my team. And it was the first audition I'd ever done where I didn't care about the outcome. I was like, I hope they liked it, but what should I have for dinner tonight? Ooh, Subway. I'm like, it was like, I genuinely didn't care. And I think that's kind of a profound lesson in that, like, the moment you take away the expectation of what you need from a thing, whether that's, "Oh, I'll never be happy unless I get this job," or "I'll never be happy unless I'm with this person," or so on and so forth. The moment you take away the expectation and just let the universe take over, that's when the good stuff happens. And a week after the audition, I was sick as a dog with a stomach flu on my birthday, just puking and feeling awful. And then my manager called me, and she's like, "Are you sitting down?" And I go, "I'm lying down. What's up?" She said, "Well, you just booked The Walking Dead." And I felt better immediately. Like, I was just jumping around. I was so stoked. And then I was out in Atlanta the next week. So yeah.
I love those stories. And I think we have some questions down here from the fans right here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Jim. So Cooper, question for you. Oh, sorry. Did you ever snag anything from the set? And then for Ross, when you had your weapon arm, was that cumbersome to maneuver around with?
Yeah, I killed a few people accidentally. And I feel very bad about
But you
that.
learned from it.
I learned from it. I did. There was 2 versions. There was a metal arm or metal mace that actually had mass to it and was, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 pounds or something like that. And that was for breaking doors and windows, anything inanimate. But most of the time, I, of course, wore the hard rubber that really couldn't hurt a fly, because if I did swing and accidentally hit a walker, I could probably have killed somebody, yeah. So that's, we didn't do that. We were, yeah.
Did you snag something from
Did you snag the axe? Tell me you snagged the axe.
I'm pretty sure
you get the axe?
one of the people that were let go during season 9 or 10 or before took the axe.
Oh.
They never found it.
That's a bummer.
They were selling or like when they did the auction or whatever, like years ago, I think it was just the rubber one. I don't know where the real axe went, because I was trying to take it. So if you're wondering why. So I kept my sword, which I was happy about, because I really like swords. That's a thing I've done my whole life. And but I remember with that sword, we were during the final season, everyone's like banging on the walls, the metal walls, and we had to run down. Remember, like we're from whatever. This is like episode 904 or 1105. I don't know, whatever. Do we remember numbers like this? You'll remember this. I hit Ross in the face, drawing my sword out.
Oh, yeah.
And we were running next to each other. I went kaboom! Like hit him with the base of the sword, just right in the face, like the face. And my experience is when you hit somebody, you keep going through the scene because you don't know how bad that's going to be once we cut. So we do the thing where he's not going to kill me. So I'm like, great, we're still performing. And then the moment they go cut, I go, oh my God, I am so sorry. I felt terrible. But yeah, I nailed Ross in the face with the metal bottom of the sword right in there. And you were really cool about it, and I appreciate you not.
You must have hit me pretty hard, because I don't really remember that. So
That's also the trick, guys. If you're gonna hit somebody, hit them so they won't remember.
Thank you.
What's your name and what's your question?
Art the Clown.
Yeah. My name is Tyson. Do you have a favorite weapon other than your own from the series?
I mean, Negan's bat is obviously pretty badass, but let's see. I always loved his battle axe. I really felt like swinging that around must have just felt so amazing, because an axe that's double-sided, it's so versatile. You could just swing it both ways to and fro like a Viking would, and I've always been enamored with my Viking heritage. Like we on both sides of my family, we've got a lot of Viking heritage, and I just always fancied myself a descendant of that. And I just have a fantasy of being a Viking and running around in a loincloth and killing random people. I don't know why, but it seems neat in my head. I don't know. You get it. Yeah.
I liked so it's funny. I liked your weapon. But we actually got to show a little moment in it when we were in the cave. That it was just it's a little moment, but people memed it, so I was very happy about that. But he's adjusting, like he's putting on the mace head of the weapon, and I look at him, and I remember just giving him like this, that's so cool, kind of look, and they used it and they kept it. But I was like, to me, like Jerry's like, I love that, yeah, like that's. To me, that was the coolest weapon, because I was just thinking of all the attachments. I was like Captain Hook. He can do so many things. This is so cool. He can have 3 hands if he wanted. You can just put a wooden hand in another wooden hand, and you can play so much piano. Yeah,
Thank you for your question. What's your name and what's your question?
My name's Adriana, and I just want to know which character death hurt you guys the most?
Daryl. That
was rough.
When Daryl gets killed, it just like, what? Really. You guys know about that, right? Oh, is that a spoiler? Oh,
I don't know.
sorry. No. I think Herschel for me was the worst. That was just rough because it came out of nowhere. I mean, even though you knew the threat was there, that was rough. But also Sasha, because Sasha was like Sonequa was one of the first people I ever worked with on the show, and she was so lovely and just like a beacon of happiness and joy and led by example. So losing her was an energetic loss for us. So yeah, I would say Sasha and Herschel. Yeah.
Quick thing on the Sasha. So I didn't know because that was my first season. So I just knew the scenes I was in season 7, and so I didn't know she died. So on the show. So at the wrap party, I go up to her and I go, so how do you guys deal with like these deaths and just like knowing that these characters are gone for, that you've been with working for years? How do you guys deal with that? And she goes, yeah. I had no clue, and she was just like, and she was being so nice about it. I'd have been like, get out of my face, whatever your name is. Like I came in like, yeah, how do you? Like, you're just cool with that? That's great. But man, there were a lot of deaths. Like on my. Like before I was on the, I mean, Herschel was rough because one of my favorite episodes is the one where he's taking the bodies out and he's just trying to make people feel better when everyone's getting sick, and he's just by himself, just taking care of all the walkers, or before the people change, and to me that was like. That had to be so, like, I mean, if you put yourself in that space, that's so difficult to do. You're the one that's making everyone's last moments, like, peaceful, and then he's out there doing it himself. So I always thought that was rough. And just how, like, callously he was killed. It wasn't, like, he meant nothing to the governor. It just didn't mean anything. And to all of us, we're like, ugh. But his death, and then I was talking about earlier, but a death I thought was... It was sad, not because it was sad that he died, but Shane, just how close they were, and how if certain things could have been communicated or talked with, but this lie was held between them, and it sort of deteriorated their entire relationship, and other thing, the way Bernthal plays that is like brilliant, and it was so great, but just like it was also the beginning of Rick turning into something that he was saying you can't be, having to accept that the world isn't coming back as it was. And so that death I thought was like also the killing, like was also a big kill for Rick Grimes himself. Every time he lost somebody that he knew pre-apocalypse, I always thought that was a little bit of his former self being taken out. So that was a big one for me.
Those are really good answers. Great question. What's your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Alora, and I was wondering, what were some of your guys' favorite scenes to shoot and why?
I mean, I think I were probably going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
The Renaissance Fair.
Yeah,
episode?
the Renaissance Fair. Yeah.
We used to literally go to the Ren Fair in Georgia in real life all the time. Me, Cassidy, OK, and Coop. We've all been there numerous times in the real world. And when they said we were going to shoot at that location, obviously during the off season, we were like, ee! Yeah. We were so excited. We couldn't believe it. Because it's like, you've been to a Ren Fair ever? They're fun, right? I mean, you walk around with a turkey leg and a mead in your hand, and you're like, it just feels.
We're at work.
Yeah, everyone's being a dork, everyone's embracing it. It's a blast, And I think the feeling of that was in everyone's spirit, because it was towards the end of the season. We'd been working almost 12 months at that point, I think.
Yeah, this was
towards the end of the series.
Yeah, it was like December.
Yeah.
Right before the break.
And we just had the best time. And honestly, the foursome we had was just like, I mean, Cooper, OK, myself and Cassidy, like that doesn't get any better than that. Like it's just a fun group of people to work with. So yeah. I mean, the fact that they made turkey legs for us, they had this griller going like the whole time for turkey legs. So you just eat that. They're eating. But you had a lot to do in that episode also. So even though we were having fun, there was still like a little bit of focus. I guess we had to work, whatever. And but yeah, to me that was so much fun for a few reasons. That, and then also like
no, you know what? It's a little more fun when you know everyone else is not having fun. So like the rest of the cast were all in like they were getting rained on and snowed on a little bit, and like they were just cold, and there was 20 of them, so they had to get everyone's coverage, and we were just making our days easily. So we were just having like it was just fun time.
Really sunny.
Yeah.
We lucked out with the weather because usually November, December in Georgia is like quite cold and like ice storms like crazy. We lucked out. Big time. Yeah.
It was, so that, I mean, to me, that's what Walking Dead was. And on a personal note for it also, I had shot there 20 years prior. We were filming, you can look it up on YouTube. Nintendo actually lets us keep it up there. We did a Zelda fan film called Hero of Time.
Why am I just now learning about
Because
this?
it's so bad. But it's we put like a Sharpie as the Triforce, like there's like a like a marker on there, and that was we were like, I mean that was what true guerrilla is when you don't have the rights to the location or the IP and you're doing it anyway. So like we were like stealing shots and like while the Ren Fair was happening, and so then like 20 years later knowing that like, oh, I'm gonna break this door because I'm getting tired of running into this door. So I intentionally broke it. When you see the fingers coming through on that episode, I was like, all right, I've done 6. This is the last one. I go, shadoosh.
He literally broke the door off the hinges. It was insane. Like I was just like, Jesus. It was incredible, actually. Yeah.
I was like, no more. And it looked way better for it. So, how much ever that cost, I'm glad they didn't take it out of my my pay. It was a decision. Jerry made that choice. That wasn't Cooper. I didn't know. I can't control my acting.
He gets in it.
Living up to that berserker status.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great question. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, I'm Dominic. Would you encourage your fellow Walking Dead actors to come to FanX in following years?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course we would. Yeah.
I've been here 4 times, I think, and I think you've been here twice.
But not in Utah.
Oh.
Like this is my
Oh, gotcha.
first
Was
time.
your first time? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, FanX in
for-
Utah.
Okay.
It feels different. The moment I came
Yeah.
in today, I was like, oh, this is a different one.
The energy here is incredible.
Yeah.
And they run it so beautifully. It's family run. It's a great group. So
The mountain air.
the mountain air. Yeah.
It does some great things. Yeah, but absolutely we would. We're always sad when we're like, oh, one, I didn't know you were coming. And I remembered now, like, I was like, oh, yeah. But, like, I found out yesterday when I texted you. I'm like, wait, are you here? Like, I didn't know. I didn't know. Did I kind of sound like Seth Rogen doing that? Okay.
Can you do the laugh?
I can do his laugh when I'm not trying to imitate it, which is really, I can't. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
that.
What's your name? What's your question?
I'm Danny. The Walking Dead is a story full of tragedy. As your own personal experience enjoying this story, was there a point where you're like, I don't like this tragic scene? Let's instead give them a perfect happy ending right here and now. When was that, and what would be the happy ending?
Oh.
I mean, everyone always says the Negan lineup with Abraham and Glenn, obviously, losing 2 of our most beloved characters was awful. But, I mean, that's the easy answer, I think. But for me, the one death that occurred that I really wish hadn't was in the episode One More, where Father Gabriel and I were playing Russian roulette with that crazy guy played by Robert Patrick, the T-1000. I thought that he was just an incredibly broken man that was trying really hard to embrace his humanity again. And the moment he decides not to kill us, I felt like that was a real mea culpa moment where we could be like, oh, cool, we can build on this. We can see if you want to come back to Alexandria and we can, rehab you and show you that you still have a community and it's okay. And then Father Gabriel comes up and smacks him with my mace arm and I'm like, no, why'd you do that? So I still don't understand that. And I asked the writers, I'm like, why did you have to kill him? It would have been great. He was like, he would have cost too much. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. But I really felt Mays deserved more. He deserved a better longevity on the show. Yeah.
Mine was, I mean, that's a good, I really want to see I want to see that extended episode because I remember reading it and there's so many, and you guys shot those scenes too, like these extra scenes. I mean, it's like a little mini movie. It's one of my favorite episodes on the show, just because we don't get those moments where the characters are just talking about life. There's no like, hey man, how you doing after all of this? You know, we don't have a lot of those moments with our, you know, with a lot of the characters, you know, and so that's why I love that one so much. Henry, when like at the top of season 9, right before the Whisperers showed up, I was like, okay, let it stay this way. Let us just be happy here for a moment. You know, we got things working at the kingdom, everything's nice. There's a little, you know, tension, but you know, we'll make it through. And then, yeah, and then losing Henry, I'm like, and that's why you got to stay in school, kids. All right, Henry went out partying. He was drinking, hanging out with girls he wasn't supposed to be hanging out with, making wrong kind of friends.
Bunch of losers,
Yeah.
bunch of losers. He was hanging out with the wrong people. Very sad. You know, a lot of people are saying this is the big problem with our country. You know, they're partying too much. They're eating cats and dogs. Can you believe it?
Not blacksmithing enough. They're not blacksmithing enough.
Blacksmithing.
And that's all he needed to be doing. So just stay in school, or I'm not saying, you know, I'm just saying, like, he didn't stay in school and then his head's on a pike. He didn't. I'm just, you know, yeah.
Thank you for your question. What's your name? What's your question?
I'm Hallie, and my question is, other than the characters you played, who is your favorite character in The Walking Dead?
Just because I liked how, I don't want to say how ridiculous some of it was, but I'll say like how my mom said it. She was like, oh, the Power Rangers. Are there Power Rangers in the show now? I was like, no, it's the Commonwealth. They don't know. So anyway, I love Mercer. I think he's one of the coolest characters, and he kind of reminded me of like he was also the right-hand man, right? So there was still a little bit of that similarity. I like that he had the little mini axes. Not as cool as the big one, but, you know, they're little. But I just liked how you thought he was going to be this one way, and then you realized that he has always been about the people, and I just, like, you know, and I was just like, oh, so I love that character. I got to see him a few weeks ago. He's great. Yeah, I was watching Twisted Metal at his house. He had to go. We were supposed to go to a party together, like, and I was just too tired. I'm like, I'm sorry. And so I just stayed in his house while I went to the party, and I watched Twisted Metal at his thing. But yeah, I love that man. He's so cool, and the character obviously. But yeah,
I really loved Abraham because I felt like, in addition to being probably one of the best soldiers and fighters on the show, he had the best lines. I mean, he really had the best one-liners. I mean, people talk about Negan having great one-liners, and he did, but it was always seeped in nastiness and you know, just kind of a vile vitriol coming from him. But Abraham would say these things that, you know, you're like, what? No one talks like that, but what a great, like, you know, I won't say because there's children in here, but like some of the lines he said were just freaking hilarious. And yeah, I would bring back Abraham if I could. Yeah.
If I could do one of those little tales of, I'd have loved it just being a chance meeting between Abraham and Jerry, just like they both had to do their own thing. I just thought their vernacular with each other would have been a complete, just the way they talk, I thought would have been really cool. Yeah.
That was a great question. What's your name? What's your question?
Spider-Man.
I'm Garrett.
Spider-Man. You're gonna put the cheeks in there. Yeah.
I'm working on his J.K. Simmons.
Ross, I have to ask you, when you were first introduced into the show, how was it filming getting absolutely rocked by Andrew Lincoln?
Oh, so you must have seen it, because for those that don't know, Andy is the loveliest human on the planet, but he does get into character sometimes a little bit too much. And also just momentum is a thing. It's a real thing. Physics is a real thing.
Physics is real, guys.
Physics is real, you guys. Believe me. But we shot that sequence in the barn probably 20 different times from all these different angles. And Larissa, our director, was doing a phenomenal job. But it was, you know, also herding like 20 cast members in that sequence and had to get a lot of coverage. So, you know, I do not... you know, I don't hold this against Andy in the slightest, but every single take, he comes up and he punches me in the face, and I'm supposed to pass out immediately because he knocks the wind out of me. But every time it was fine. He comes, you know, the nice thing about it with camera work is that like you don't actually have to come anywhere near someone. You can just do this as long as he reacts at the right time and the camera's at the right angle. It'll look like a punch, but it didn't actually come near him, you know. So it's the miracle of. Sorry, did I hit you? Oh, sorry. But on the last take, or one of the second to last takes, Andy was coming up with just a little bit too much momentum, and he connected with my nose, and I thought he broke it. I mean, I was just like, oh, God, he's a strong guy. And, that did not feel great. But I got punched by Rick Grimes. That's pretty cool, you know. Hey, can't beat that. Can't beat that. Yeah.
That's like an elite club, though. Yeah. There's only a few of you, but there are a few of you.
So you took a sword to the face and a fist to the face.
The fist was probably harder, it sounds like. I just knocked the memory out of him.
Oh, and I blew up my knee, too.
Oh.
Remember this?
Yes.
We were chasing after Alpha season 10, I want to say. It's like Meek, Jerry, Daryl.
Right before the cave.
Carol, Connie, and maybe not Connie. But
No, it was Connie and Angel was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're all running after a full sprint. And the terrain in Georgia and the supposed hillside were just varied. It's topographically all over the place. And I was just running at full bore, and my foot went a good foot deeper than the other one, and it went. You could just hear it. And after the take, he looked at me. He's like, "Was that your knee?" And I was like, "Yep." He's like, "I think you dislocated it." I'm like, "Yep, I think you're right." And we did it one more take, which is the dumbest thing I could have done.
Yeah.
I probably should have just tapped out.
Yep.
But I was trying to be, tough cowboy.
You were.
BS. And it still, to this day, bothers me. That was 6 years ago. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I had the hernia. Norman has his floating kneecaps. We're all just falling apart, and then you have this ground that was like, I don't know, you know, like really terrible golfers, and the chunks of grass that just start flying. That's what we were running on, and it just like little holes, and you're like just you're running while looking. I'm also like, they're not going to use this. I've been in so many running scenes they do not use, and I would usually carry people. Like in season 7, I had to carry Logan, who played Benjamin. And it looks like we're all carrying him, but no, it's just me carrying this 140-pound person, running him from the back of the truck up to the house, and I'm not cardio-based in any way. Just by looking at me, you can kind of tell. And I was just like, and then we did 7 takes of that. And then when we're running across the field, I mean, like we're running from like here to that exit sign. Like, I'm like, we're not using that. Who's gonna want to watch that? It's this angle here for like 40 seconds of us just running wide. They're gonna put like some Hans Zimmer music back there and just try and make it as epic as possible. No, that didn't happen. Yeah, that was bad though. And the way you ran, because you were running fine, and then you went, and I was like, oh, and I thought I heard like a little tree branch or something. I thought you stepped on something wrong, and then you're like, I was like, oh dude. I'm like, oh dude, how are you doing? Oh.
We're falling apart towards the end of that. Yeah.
Lots of running for a show with walking in the title.
Yeah.
What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name's Crystal. My question is for both of you, and then more towards Ross. In between takes, you guys have a lot of downtime. Was there anything you guys love to do, and any favorite impressions that Ross would do that the cast loved? I mean, Cooper might be able to answer that one. Because, I mean, obviously, I've seen your videos. You're great at impressions. You can do anything, so as we saw a few minutes ago. So, anyway.
We would do dueling trumps quite a bit on set.
It's a great time. I'll tell you something.
A lot of people.
It would be okay. So I'll do my imitation of Ross when he first. So what I love about Ross is that you sort of remember like what's comedy. Comedy is going into the things that we're uncomfortable with or not liking, and then just sort of putting it on there, you know, and then letting people just sort of just relax a little bit on things. So, hey guys, yeah, that's great. We're gonna go back to, we're gonna go reset. We're gonna go do this again, and pictures up. And this is gonna be the most beautiful take. We're gonna do some acting you've never seen. It's gonna be incredible. I'm gonna make you cry. I'm gonna make each individual one of you cry. And like, so whatever it was, and then you would see someone like Seth, who would just be like, he didn't like it, and then after a while he just started laughing, and you got him every time after that. And it's just, to me, that's what people were just able to sort of see the joke in things, but you I don't know. So I love that one. But you did. Oh, it's also the cave. We're doing a bunch of cave stuff, and you know it's intense. We're about to do some action stuff, and Ross would look at me and say, "Yeah, Gorlami." And like he was imitating Brad Pitt. I can't imitate Brad Pitt. And he started imitating, but he imitates him perfectly. And so I'm now running into a fight, you know, where I'm like, like laughing so hard, like. No, it wasn't that bad, but it was still like pretty. He got me until like we'd be like 10 seconds into action, and I'd be able to deliver things. So yeah.
We tried to keep it light on set because it's so heavy. Like, you know, there's so much death, there's so much destruction. But I remember one time, Melissa Carroll I think she overheard from you, which thank you for that.
I would not have, I promise I would not have told that one. Okay, all right, this is my favorite story.
Well,
it's the best story there ever is.
It didn't go as well as probably anyone had hoped, but basically word got around that I was doing an impression of Norman, and
hold on, sorry. All right, okay. To preface this, I hear Ross's imitation of Norman. All right, like we're out somewhere, and I was like, "That's really good, dude. That's really good. Does he know that you do that?" He's like, "No, don't ever." If you can imitate somebody, do not do it to them. It goes badly. And then he told me some war stories. I was like, okay, noted.
I had done impressions of Larry David for Larry David, Matthew McConaughey for Matthew McConaughey, and it always kind of backfired because everyone thinks they want to hear an impression of themselves until they hear it, and then they're like, I didn't like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, he had passed the word around, and it got back to Melissa.
It won't make.
We were sitting around our cast chairs, and Melissa was like, "Oh my God, I got to hear this thing," and Norman's sitting right there, and I was like, "No, I don't want, no." And then the word kind of gets around, and Norman's like, "Oh yeah, I want to hear this. Let me, yeah, I want to hear this thing. Let me hear it." And I was like, "Oh no, dude. I mean, like, I don't. That's you know, you might not like it." He's like, "No, it's cool. I want to hear it. Let's hear it." And I was like, all right, so here's the deal. Like, we're like filming in Georgia. It's crazy, right? It's like hot and muggy, like, right? It's crazy, right? And he just kind of looks at me and he goes, huh. Cool. Now do Daryl. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, do Daryl. And I was like, no, we got to go around here. We got to go back, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, okay, now do Norman talking to Daryl. I'm like, this is getting too meta. Too weird, and I stopped, but the damage was done, and Denise, our producer, walked up to me afterwards, and she goes, "It's been nice knowing you," and I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah." So yeah, he was a good sport about it, yeah.
So Melissa goes, we sit down. This is out of nowhere. I did not tell Melissa this. She goes, "Ross, I hear you do an imitation of Norman. You should do it." And I go. Because I just heard never imitate the person. I'm like, here we go. And Ross is like, no. It's like, no, it's really good. I heard it's really good. Do it. And then it went on. And I just remember I was like, oh, this is terrible for him. I'm glad I got to watch this. I'm looking at all their faces. I'm like, oh. And by the way, I've been trying to have Ross do an imitation of me for years. He says he doesn't have one, but I know he does. And I've just been doing a terrible imitation of him. But I do it to him until I get my imitation. So do you guys want to hear my Ross imitation?
Yes.
This is also, he can do mine because I will love it. But he's like, oh, yeah, right. No, so we're all together. Okay. And you're good. And I'm like, yeah, I'm great. You're gonna call when I get home, though, when you get home. I'm like, yeah. All right, you're going to be safe. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the Uber. It's all good. Anyway, I would do this to everyone that knows him, but always when he's in earshot. I would do the Ross imitation when like he'd be coming around and I'd be doing it for Alana, and Alana's like, that's Ross. And I'm like, and then Ross like, are you imitating me? I'm like, yeah. Where's mine?
I'm still working on it. I'll get it to you. Don't worry.
Since we're talking about your voice talents, I have yet to be able to ask you about X-Men 97 and your work on that. How do you prepare to play such an iconic character?
That luckily I've been watching.
X-Men '97. That guys.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I'd been watching that since I was El Nino, and that's the show that made me want to be an actor. Quite literally, like that. Quite literally was the show. I was like, I want to do that. And I think, to be honest with you, that voice and a lot of the voices were just so much in my subconscious already that it wasn't a huge stretch. Like there's some voices I just cannot get. Like I've been working on Ryan Gosling and Leonardo DiCaprio for years. I can't get them. I don't know what it is. There's just something about their voices that's too nuanced. But with Professor X, there's like a nasally quality to that voice that's just like, no, you mustn't go there, Gene. And it was just kind of like lead-in words that like dial me into that character or whatever, like Gene, Scott. You know, like for whatever reason, they just kind of get me there. But I don't know, it wasn't as hard as the other voices, I guess.
Can you tease anything about season 2?
It's very dark, and I play Apocalypse next season too. So there's a lot of scenes where I'm talking to myself as Apocalypse and Professor X, which is kind of weird, but yeah, I'm amazed that Disney's greenlit it because it's so dark. It's very, very dark.
A lot of people die. A lot of people, believe me. So many people. Okay, yeah.
Don't tell me that. Now I'm going to be sad.
Just being honest.
But hey, I mean, the zombies, What If just came out. I mean, that is brutal.
What If Zombies? Why were we in that? We should be
Yeah, what
in
the
that.
hell?
Jeez.
They knew it would end too quickly. Did you record back and forth, or did you?
I tried to, but they're such different voices.
Yeah,
like
it's
Professor X
the
is so
warm-up.
nasally and high, not high pitch, but of a higher pitch, and then Apocalypse is like so bassy and growly that like
Can I hear
just no. I'll do it for you later, but I can't do it now.
So much pain, my children, so much death.
What a way to.
Thank you.
Thank you. And what a way to wrap up the panel, because I see we're in the red now. That was a fantastic way to wrap up this panel. And if you didn't get to ask your question, do you want to do one more? You want to do one more? Go for it.
Like yeah.
My name is Brittany. My daughter Riley wanted to ask this question, but she was afraid. She wants to know, if there were a real zombie apocalypse, what would your game plan be? How would you survive?
Go to a Costco, fuse the doors shut, have 24/7 security on guard inside and outside. That's how you do it. Costco.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
I had a recent thought. What I would do if we changed like how other walkers change. If I knew I was bit, I'd be putting on rollerblades. To protect everyone, I'd put on rollerblades. And it would just be a town of zombies dragging their heavy rollerblades around the ground. We're stepping over them because it costs more to kill them, apparently. and I was just thinking about this whole community. Just get some rollerblades. You're not going to see a walker just doing it. That was my thought on that. I don't. There's no other plan. There's no other plan except that. Just rollerblades, everybody.
That was a good answer. Thank you. If you didn't get to ask your question, you can go talk to them at their tables this weekend. And let's thank them one more time for being here. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, guys.